Hello, SquirrelTribe 2.0. Good morning, my dudes. So before we jump into everything I want to talk about today, I'd like to give you another Kevin shoulder update, basically more of an insurance update at this point. So just a small little recap. The man, my husband, Kevin, had left shoulder pain that was excruciating, absolutely awful, ended up going to urgent care. They did an x-ray, wrote him a referral to go to an orthopedic specialist. A week and a half later, went to the orthopedic specialist. The customer service at the front desk was non-existent. And once they did speak, it was, not exactly friendly. Anyway, saw the orthopedic specialist who prescribed physical therapy, said they couldn't do an MRI for 6 weeks, prescribed physical therapy leading up to the MRI. And then when it was time to leave, the computers were down. We couldn't book anything. The prescription they wanted him to go on for inflammation in his shoulder never got called in. He'd already had a steroid shot and steroid pack or pills and muscle relaxers that were prescribed by urgent care. And so this is kind of where we were. I talked to you guys about it in like 2 different previous videos, and I love you guys immensely. Y'all know this. The information you left in the comment section, I'm sure not helps only us, but tons of other people too. Because a lot of people, I will say though, it's like a 50-50. So a lot of people were saying, do not do physical therapy until you have an MRI, because without an MRI, you don't know exactly what's wrong in the shoulder, and doing physical therapy could actually make it way worse. And then by the time you get the MRI, they're like, hey, you've jacked up your entire shoulder, right? Other people are saying, definitely do the physical therapy, because sometimes insurance won't allow you to have a surgery or an MRI or any of that kind of stuff unless you have done physical therapy first, right? And so since the consensus, I think is the right word, was so 50-50, I was like, we're going to call the health insurance company and kind of figure out what's going on. Now, as we all know, health insurance companies like to give you the runaround. I have no idea why. They're taking all of our money. You'd think they'd be nice enough to answer questions a little quicker, a little easier, a little more understandingly. It's one of those two. It's early, y'all. It's early. My green beef tea has not kicked in yet. So we have Florida Blue, right? In Georgia, we had United Healthcare. And before that, when we were in corporate America, we had Guardian. Humana. We had Humana before, when we were in corporate America. Then when we owned our own business, we had United Healthcare. Now here in Florida, we have Florida Blue. And I will say the level of service each time has slowly ticked down. Now the years have also ticked by, so it could have something to do with now versus back then, younger generations versus, a little bit older, 10, 15 years ago versus now. But I will say Florida Blue, every once in a while I get a really nice person who's very helpful. And then the other time I get somebody who clearly hates their life and their job, and they want to take it out on whoever's on the other end of the phone. And same thing with Delta, because we have Delta Dental, again, as paying out of pocket for everything ourselves for insurance, because it's not through an employer or an employee or whatever. Everything's a little more expensive, and you only have certain options that you can get if you want to not go fully bankrupt trying to have some sort of insurance, right? So we have Delta Dental here, and Delta Dental, from what I can tell, also sucks balls. I'm not even gonna, mince words there. They also suck. But so anyway, I called Florida Blue on hold forever and a day, because that's how it works. I feel like Florida Blue, it's very hard to tell, but I feel like Florida Blue, most of the people who answer the phones, they're working from home, which good for them. Not everybody had to go back into some sort of office when everything opened back up last year before. But sometimes I'll call and I'll hear kids running around in the background. And I'm like, you do you, mom, do what you got to do to take care of the kids, do your job, whatever else. Side note, we're going to talk about something along those lines in a little bit. But anyway, so I call Florida Blue, and the lady I got on the phone this time, she was nice and tried to be helpful, but I still kind of sort of got the runaround. So I called this lady and I said, hey, listen, I'm calling on behalf of my husband. And I gave her the whole, backstory. And I said, this is where we went. We didn't really like the location or the people or whatever else. And we're trying to figure out if there's someplace else we can go. And she said to me that we had to have another referral for a different orthopedic specialist if we wanted to go to another one, meaning we'd have to go back to urgent care and either see the doctor again and ask for a new referral, because I don't know if they'll just give us one, or go to the orthopedic specialist place we went to and see if they will give us a referral to a competitor. And I'm like, pretty sure that part's not going to happen. So then I was asking about physical therapy. I said, listen, they haven't done an MRI. How do we know that physical therapy isn't going to mess his shoulder up more? Because a lot of you were saying in the comments, which makes perfect sense, that the reason his shoulder isn't bothering him now, like he's got full range of motion, he's doing all these little things, you know, we went to the pool yesterday and he got down into the pool by pushing off, didn't hurt himself. Of course, he was smart enough not to try to get out of the pool by, you know, pushing up onto the side, because that may have hurt, but he's not lifting anything heavy or doing anything crazy. So he's got full range of motion right now and it's not killing him, right? And a lot of people were saying, well, that's because, honey, the steroids, the shot that they gave him in his little butt cheek and the steroid pills or whatever are still in his system. So it's like a false sense of okayness or false sense of pain-free. Give it a couple weeks and see what happens. So this week will be 1 week that he's been off of the steroid pills. So in another week, I'm like, babe, you got to keep moving your shoulder around. Maybe don't do anything crazy, but keep it moving, keep it so it doesn't get like, locked up, I guess would be the right words. And in another week, we'll see if the pain has started to come back or not, right? But I'm talking to this lady from Florida Blue and I'm explaining to her, I'm like, listen, because nobody can give me a straight answer on why he can't get an MRI right now or why physical therapy is needed before an MRI. Can we just figure this out? Can he go someplace and get an MRI before we do this physical therapy? And she said that depending on what tier you have in the insurance depends on which direction they go, which to me, I'm like, so what you're telling me, because I'm not paying you like top dollar, he can't get an MRI, even though I am paying, we paid him $1,000 a month for insurance, which is effing ridiculous to not be able to get an MRI, paying $12,000 a year for family insurance. We still have I think it's a $9,000 deductible. Copay is like $85 each time we've gone into these places, which is still a high copay. When we had United Healthcare, our copay was $20, and we paid maybe $3 something a month for the entire family. It's a massive difference going from a business backed insurance plan to a individual backed insurance plan, you know? It's still PPO, not HMO. I messed up last year when I signed up and got HMO on dentist and we couldn't do anything. Had to wait till it renewed and we could go to PPO because no HMOs would take anything, right? Anyway, not the point. So I'm asking this lady, I'm like, so you're telling me because we're not paying you guys $2,000 a month or whatever, we can't just go get an MRI. We have to do the physical therapy first. And she was like, yeah, it's going to be in your best interest unless you have somebody who specifies you need the MRI before the physical therapy. So now I'm like, what do I got to do? Sit here and like call around in a 100-mile radius to an orthopedic specialist and be like, hey, listen, fill him in on everything and convince them to tell my insurance company that he needs an MRI before physical therapy? Because then, like a lot of y'all were saying, if he doesn't do the physical therapy and then he does get an MRI and the MRI shows some sort of issue, insurance may not cover as much because he didn't do the physical therapy. And it's such a run around for the whole situation that it literally makes me want to bang my head into the wall. You know, here's the thing. I called the insurance company and I've had people say before, you know, why are you doing these things for your husband? Can he do them for himself? Yes, he can. But let me explain something. I have a better chance of, in theory, depending. When it comes to stuff for the kid and myself, it's a little different. But I have a better chance of staying cool, calm, and collected when trying to get something done for him than trying to get something done for myself. I have a tendency to flip my switch just a little bit faster. So with him, I'm a little more cool, calm, collected and trying to get information and set up appointments and do whatever else. Whereas he'd be like, I'm not dealing with this. Click and just be done. Be like, fuck it, I don't need it. I don't need the physical therapy. My shoulder's going to hurt. It is what it is. And if I have to, you know, never move my arm again, it's fine. So I try to take care of the stuff for him, right? But now today's Monday. So when I'm done here, I'm going to start calling places and just saying, listen, my insurance company isn't worth a shit. And I'm trying to figure this out. Can y'all help me and see what happens? Because that's pretty much what I'm relegated to at this point because I can't get a clear, precise answer from the insurance company. I get the, well, you could, or well, maybe, or in theory. No. Precise answers, please, because I just want to know that everything's fine in his shoulder. That way we can go on living life as opposed to, ooh, every time he does something and his face makes a face, I'm worried that he's just like completely destroyed his shoulder. So I'd like to get it fixed as soon as humanly possible. But there's the update on that. Just so you know, the rest of my Monday is relegated to calling not insurance places, but orthopedic places and whatnot to try to figure out what I can do. There will not be a Mimosa Monday live stream tonight because we're going to go have dinner with some friends, a happy hour 5 p.m. thing to hang out with some friends and catch up. So I'm excited for that because I need that. So there's that. Now, the other thing we talked about a couple days ago was how bad I smell, which is a fun segue, right? Yeah. So a lot of you were saying in the comments, you know, honey boo boo, you're 42 and your body chemistry is changing. And I'm like, no, I don't want to believe that it's because I'm getting older and things are going to start smelling different. But not to be, you know, whatever, but you do realize that older people have older people smell. And people talk about all the time, it smells like old people in here. It smells, and most of the time we're like, oh, that's patchouli, right? You think patchouli and old people. But I think the older you get, you really do start to have a different kind of smell. And that's really weird. It's really weird to me. And now I'm like, I'm only 42. That different kind of smell does not need to start kicking in yet. How do we stop this? Is it deodorants? My Ervo Lucendi stuff, I spray that on and I smell absolutely amazing. But it's like my armpits, I got to figure out what we're doing over here. So y'all, it started with this one. Remember? You guys remember, it started with me trying to go, I'm going to go aluminum free and whatever else. So I tried this and very, very bad things happened scent wise in the pit area. Now, a lot of people said it's because when I stopped using the ones with aluminum, it gave the pores in my armpits, which you don't think of pores in your armpits, time to open up and toxins to seep out. And that's why it smells, right? Because before, the deodorant that I was using with aluminum was basically like plugging it. For some reason, and this is probably really disgusting, but my brain thinks of it as a cheese grater. Without cheese on it, all the holes are open. But as soon as you start grating cheese, all those little holes get clogged. And so my armpits are cheese graters. That's how I'm looking at it. So everybody's saying that when you're using the aluminum-based deodorant, it's clogging the holes like a cheese grater. When you're using aluminum-free, it's wide open. And so your body's finally like, yes, hallelujah. And it's trying to throw out all the toxins through your armpits. I guess I'd rather go out there than other places because that doesn't sound fun. So it's trying to get rid of all the toxins and, you know, stick with it for a couple of days and then the smell will go away and then you'll be able to use aluminum free and be perfectly fine. And I was like, okay, I hear you. I believe you, but I don't like smelling. So I went back to my tried and true, right? The Degree Ultra Clear. This one works really, really well. Blocking the pores, I guess, in the armpits. But then I don't smell, and it's an antiperspirant deodorant. So a lot of people were telling me how the aluminum-free ones are just deodorants. And it says 48-hour odor protection. Lies. Blatant lies. 48 hours, and I mean, I couldn't go like 3 hours without the stuff. My armpits started to smell so bad. It was absolutely ridiculous. But I don't think this is a antiperspirant, or is it not a deodorant? I don't know what this one's considered because honestly, it doesn't say anywhere on here if it's considered an antiperspirant or deodorant, which should have been, oh no, it says dry solid deodorant. So it's not an antiperspirant, which is why I guess I started to smell. I thought a deodorant would make you not smell, but it's the antiperspirant that you need so you don't like perspire, so all that stuff doesn't come floating out your armpits, I guess. So anyway, I went back to that one, but you guys told me I need to try Native, Tom's, Mitchum, and Lume or whatever. So I went to Target yesterday. The kid and I went up and down the deodorant aisles, the men and the women's. I went to both. We were in there for like 30 minutes just looking at deodorants. And I know that the Target people are like, man, what's wrong with you? Right now, I look like I hoard deodorant. Like, do you see how many I have here? I've got 5 just in my hand, not to mention the ones that are in the cabinet in the bathroom. I look like I hoard deodorant. So we're looking at everything and I pick up Native. And I wanted to use Native, but for those of you who don't know, I'm allergic to coconut oil. And like the second ingredient in Native is coconut oil. They got rid of the aluminum and all this other stuff, but they replaced it with the coconut oil because technically that stuff is great for your skin, great for your body, great for all different kinds of things. It's like a castor oil kind of thing. It has like tons of health benefits, right? So I'm looking at it and I'm like, I don't think I should use this. Now there's coconut oil in body washes and things like that, but it's normally like 5 or 6 down the line, and it's a very, very small percentage. And I'm thinking with like Native, the deodorant, if it's like the second one in the list, that means like it's a higher concentration. And I don't know that I want to put that directly into armpits. It just didn't, I was worried about it. So I had to bypass the Native, right? In the men's section, they have an Old Spice one that said it was cucumber and aloe or something. Oh, it smelled so good. Also aluminum free. Coconut oil. I'm like, dang it. So I couldn't get that one. So I went over and looked at Tom's. I got this one out of the men's section. And this one does not have coconut oil in it. And it's organic and it's natural. And it does not have aluminum, no artificial fragrance, no parabens, no baking soda. Which I was interesting. I didn't know baking soda was considered bad. I mean, a lot of people buy toothpaste with baking soda in it because it's supposed to help with like whitening and with your gums and stuff. So I got this Tom's Mountain Spring, and I haven't tried it yet. This will be the one I'm going to use today. But I don't love the fact that it's like a gel solid. Those always feel like wet when you put them on versus the invisible solids. But it smells really good. It smells like my nose is like rattly. It smells really good. I don't know how to explain how this one smells. It's like mint, and I'm trying here, but it's kind of minty smelling, whatever amount. It doesn't smell like a Mountain Spring. I don't really know. I've never gone to a Mountain Spring and thought to myself, mint, but it does smell cool and minty. So I'm going to try this one today instead of the Degree. But then I also got this one. This is the one that I've seen so many commercials for, with the lady who's like, you put it everywhere. You put it in your pits, you put it in your crotch, you put it up your butt crack, you put it behind your knees, you put it like everywhere, like a full body thing. And I'm like, it feels weird, but okay. In between the boobies, underneath the boobies, you know, where all the sweat stuff happens. So I got this one. Again, I got this one because there's no coconut oil in it and it's aluminum free. And this one says 72-hour odor control. And I'm like, that feels, you know, like a long time. I don't know if I could really go 72 hours without reapplying. We'll see, but it's got really good reviews from a lot of people. So I got the Smooth Solid because they have a creamy, they had one that said creamy something or other. And I was like, I don't really like the word creamy. It's like the word moist. Those two things, my brain goes every which way possible. And I didn't really want anything that said creamy on it. So I got this one, and I got the soft powder scent. Come on, open lid. Wait, hold on. Oh gosh. They're like child-proof, adult-proof lids. Theirs, it's a solid, so it doesn't look wet like the other one. And it just smells like baby powder, but hopefully without the, you know, Johnson & Johnson, cancer-causing whatevers. I don't know, my nose is sniffly runny today, but this one smells really good. So I'm going to try the Tom's for the next day or two, see how it does. And then I'm going to try this one for a couple days after that and see how it does. Because a lot of people were saying, you know, it's unfortunately, as you get older, your body does all these weird chemically different things. You're going to have to try things for a couple days, see what it does, get through the smelly phase of the detox of the armpits, and then stick with it for a couple days and see if it works, because then it should. And then other people were saying that even for them, after, you know, a couple months of using the same one, suddenly it stops working. They have to try something different. So I'm like, all right, well, I've got myself a small arsenal started over here, an armpit arsenal, if you will. So hopefully these things will work out well. So there's that. Now, 2.0, I want to talk to you guys about something that I saw that I don't even know how to explain the immediate rage that I felt. As a mother, you will understand. As a woman, you will as a human, I'm pretty sure you'll understand, whether you're a mother or not. But the immediate rage that I felt when I saw this video, and the fact that this is a nurse, everything, because I'm already pissed off at the healthcare field technically right now with everything going on with Kevin. And then I saw this video, and I'm pretty sure a lot of you have seen this by now. It's been all over social media the last couple days, but gambling nurse leaves baby alone in car for 5 hours. So this woman, Hard Rock Hotel, Casino, whatever. She left a 16-month-old baby in her car so she could run inside for 20 minutes to gamble or whatever else. A nurse in her scrubs, right? She said she was going to go in for 20 minutes. She was gone for 5 hours with a 16-month-old in the backseat of a car by itself, car not running. I don't even know if she cracked the windows like you do for a dog or not. I have no idea if she should crack the windows, but I don't know if the volume here works. Let's see. Well, the volume doesn't. Look how concerned she looks. She looks so She's like, you're going to prison. They're like, you're going to prison for leaving an infant in a car. She's like, no, I was literally only in there for like 20 minutes. And she's so upset, right? But she was in there for 5 hours. So she left this child in this car. They got her to come out, and look how she looks fake upset to me. That does not look real to me at all. That looks like, oh no, I got caught, not, oh no, my baby. She looks like she's upset that she's in trouble for what she did. But she has this 16-month-old in this car. I'm pissed that at some point in this video, they let her get the baby out and hold the baby. No, you have lost every single ability to touch that child in any way, shape, or form for the rest of your life, as far as I'm concerned. So she gets the baby out, and well, another lady gets the baby out, and hopefully they have an ambulance on the way. And then the woman's like, I don't really want to give you the baby, but they do. And she's rocking the baby, and no windows. No, the windows are not cracked. You can see right there. The windows are not cracked. She had this child in a car. This was a couple days ago. Do y'all understand the heat wave that's been rolling through the good old US of A for the last however many weeks? And she left a 16-month-old in a locked car so she could, in her scrubs, go into a casino and gamble for 5 hours. 5 hours. Absolutely horrific. How many children have died in hot cars over the last couple of years, and people still have not learned? And she wants to crocodile tear this whole thing like she's upset that oh, I forgot my child was in the back seat. Bullshit. You do not forget your child is in the back seat for 5 hours. I have never once in my life forgotten my child was in my car. Never once have I forgotten she was in the back seat of the car. I don't understand parents who use that as an excuse. It just makes absolutely no sense to me. So you have this woman here. She's crying because she got caught, like I said, not because of the baby. I don't know what's going to happen to her. I hope that they take the child away. Right now, the child, I think, is in protective services. I don't think they've given the child to a family member or anything yet. But besides that one, there was this other lady. Look, I don't know why this is such a thing right now. So this lady in San Antonio mother was arrested after leaving her 3 children in a hot car while shopping. Why don't you just take your children with you? I don't understand stuff like that. My daughter is 14, almost 15. And I'm like, hey, you want to go in? And she's like, no. And I'm like, you sure? You should go inside with me because anything can happen. She's like, no. And I'm like, all right, I'm going to leave the car running. Here's the keys. Lock the door. Do not whatever. If something happens, hit the horn. Like, she'll stay in the car while I run into Starbucks to pick up our drinks, or I run to pay for gas or whatever else. But she's not staying in a car for an hour by herself. That's just, let alone 5 hours. When she was younger, that never happened. I was inconvenienced, as a mother, to have to take my child into places with me, take out the car seat and get the stroller and do whatever else. If you can't afford the few minutes to be inconvenienced, don't have the kids. Or don't go to the places that you don't want to take kids into. It seems like such a reasonable thought process to me. If you don't want to take your kids in with you and you have them with you, you shouldn't go there. I don't know why that's rocket science for some people. It seems like common sense. Just seems like common sense. If you want to go into a den of sin, don't take your child and leave them in the back seat. I'm not calling gambling a den of sin. I just want to say den of sin because it sounded really cool in my head. But don't take your child with you. Find daycare. Find somebody that can help watch your child, or just don't go do those things. Anyway, she could gamble online. She didn't need to go inside any place to do it. Anyway, this woman in San Antonio, she left her kids in a car for nearly an hour while shopping. She was arrested after a Good Samaritan helped rescue them from the vehicle. Rescuing children from vehicles because their parents are shitty and leave them in there. Officers were dispatched to a location after receiving a call from a bystander, alerting them that there were 3 children inside a vehicle that was turned off. This is according to the San Antonio Police Department. First responders discovered a 1-month-old, a 2-year-old, and a 4-year-old in the car. It's not even like this shitty mother left like a 12-year-old in charge of 2 younger ones, or even a 10-year-old in charge of 2. She left toddlers and a newborn by themselves in a car. Do you know how easy it is for a 4-year-old to just open the door and walk out? Do you know how easy it is for a 2-year-old to just open the door and walk out? 1-month-old gonna have a little harder time of doing that, but the rest of them can figure it out. Guess what they can do? If the back doors are locked because child locks, they can crawl to the front seat and go out that way. What is wrong with people that they think leaving children this young in a car unattended is smart? Obviously, they're idiots. Obviously idiots, and they should not be allowed to have their children back at any point in time ever. When it comes to stuff like this, one and done. It's not going to be a slap on the wrist. Oh, well, she's learned her lesson. She won't do it again. No, the lesson she learned is she can get away with it and she will do it again. Take her children away. I don't care if people don't agree with that. Take the children away. Put them somewhere where somebody's going to keep them safe, because mama's not doing it. All right. That's like the thing. I don't think you should have the label mom or mother if that's how you are with your children. You should be labeled the egg donor. The same thing as a useless, crappy dad is a sperm donor, in my opinion. That's an egg donor. That's it. She was the carrying vessel. She was the vaginal canal. That's about all. She's definitely not a mom or a mother. Okay. So there's that. They're saying it's unclear if this woman has legal representation. They're going to give her free legal representation. It's how it works. So this lady, the woman who rescued the children, took a video of the moment, told CNN she was walking towards a children's clothing store when she noticed a young boy in the car next to her. She said she felt her mother's instincts and decided to look inside and found another child in the car and alerted store employees to call 911. She then tried to open the door and found it unlocked and helped the children while waiting for first responders to arrive. Can we look at this from a completely different standpoint at this point? Unlocked car. Woman found her and did the right thing. Do you know who else could have found her? Anybody else who would have done the wrong thing. Anybody else could have seen kids in that car and been like, opened the door, taken them, and left. And maybe that was the plan. Holy shit. Maybe that was the plan. There are too many people out there willing to sell their kids and sell whatever for money. Child trafficking is a thing. Y'all, that thought just hit my head because I had not read the bottom of this thing. What if that was the plan? Oh, man. It's moments like this that I'm like, oh, I wish they still had firing squads, because I'd be like, can I be first, please? Thank you so much. This is absolutely, they said the boy was really sweating profusely, was crying. It seemed like he was gasping for air to me, like they were already on that verge. A lot of parents think, oh, it's okay, I'll be right back. But so much can happen in that time frame, especially with young children who can open a car door or a car that you don't lock, and anybody can open the door and take your children. I'm not reading any more of that because it's going to piss me off, and it's too early to be this pissed off. I mean, I'm already pissed off, but I don't understand. So I was going to talk to you guys about this movie that I watched called A Man in the Moon. I don't know if you guys have ever seen it. Reese Witherspoon and Jason London. It's from like 1991 or whatever. And I was going to talk about how it's nice that in the movie, she had a dad who gave a crap, because a lot of people don't have dads who give a crap. Hey, me, don't have a dad who gives a crap. And the movie, I've seen like the thumbnail for it, poster for it, whatever, on like Tubi and stuff, which is where I watched it for free, side note. I've seen it plenty of times, but it never occurred to me to click on. I'm like, I like Reese Witherspoon, but it's an old movie. It's probably going to be stupid, whatever else. And randomly I'm washing dishes and I'm like, all right, fine. I'll just pick something, eeny, meeny, miny, mowed it, and picked it. And I cried like 3 times during that movie. And it's just a movie about being a 14-year-old girl with her sister and a pregnant mom and a dad who seems like he's, there to take care of the family, but he's not really like emotionally like whatever. And then it turns out he's an amazing father, and they have like this moment, and that made me cry because I never had that because my dad sucked. And I see that, and I was going to talk to you guys about that today, about how it's nice that there are father figures out there who do step up and who are emotionally available, who are in the household, who do care about protecting the family and taking care of the family and care about their children's wants and needs and mental health and emotional health and all this other stuff. And then I saw the video of the lady at the casino leaving her baby in a car. And then I see the headline of the woman, leaving her children in the car. And it's like, I don't understand how on one hand we see such loving parents, whether it's in, books or movies or real life. And then on the other hand, you see people who are complete 180-degree different and they just suck. Like, who taught you to be that bad of a parent? Who taught you that just, leaving your children in a car was okay? Who taught you as a father that leaving your children is okay? Like, I don't understand crappy parents. It has never made sense to me. And I was talking to a friend of mine on Facebook, and she posted up yesterday about how something along the lines of her dad sucks and he's back in town or something like that, and it's putting her through emotional turmoil and all this other stuff. And I was like, boo, I fully understand exactly, not like boo, like boo-hoo, but like, hey boo, like, you know, baby girl. I fully understand exactly what you mean. If my dad popped up in my emails again, you know, today, because that's what he likes to do every couple of years, just sends me a random email like, hi, I'd love to see you, full of shit. It throws me through this like emotional turmoil, right? And so I saw her post and I was like, girl, don't even give that man any time of day. Don't give him any thought process, because at this point in life, she's a couple years younger than me. Like at this point in life, he is a sperm donor. He is not a dad. He's not a father. He didn't call him by his first name. You know what I mean? He's a sperm donor at this point. And so her situation, and then me watching that movie, A Man in the Moon, I was all in my feelings about, you know, my dad and whatever else. And then I guess somebody realized I needed something else to be mad at. So they sent me the videos of the woman, and redirected my anger from dads to stupid moms that suck. But either way, I don't get it. It doesn't make sense to me. You know what I mean? Oh, so the whole reason I was telling that, I will randomly look over at Kevin and he'll be talking to the kid, or, you know, they'll be doing something. And it's like one of those things of, how did I get so lucky? You know what I mean? Like, I'm sure I'm not the only one as a parent or as a spouse who just steps back and randomly has those thoughts of, like, where you feel like your heart's like, it's like 3 sizes too big and it's going to burst because you're so incredibly happy. Like, it's one of those things where I look over and I see them like laughing together or talking about something, or him helping her with math homework, or they're editing something together, or they're just joking about something. And I'm like, he grew up without a dad most of his life. I grew up without a dad, yet somehow he knows exactly how to be a great father. And I know exactly that that's what a great father is. So I don't know. It's just random moments of thankfulness and gratefulness that he is who he is, and he is the way he is with our daughter, and that she gets to grow up having a dad that, you know, cares and would lay his life down for her. I don't know if kids who have that kind of household understand how lucky they are. And I've explained it to her. She knows exactly why she doesn't have a grandfather in the picture, because he's a piece of shit. And so I've explained that to her before. And I've explained to her that she is lucky. I'm like, look at some of your friends that have complained about their parents, or don't have a certain parent in their household, or whatever parents they do have don't really take care of them or seem to give a crap. Like, you have to realize how lucky you are to have 2 parents who would move heaven and earth to keep you safe or keep you happy, when you have other parents out there who only care about themselves. And it's just, I don't understand parents like that. But anyway, I didn't grow up with a mom like that. I don't understand moms like that. It doesn't make sense to me. So, SquirrelTribe 2.0. This went a weird, normally we are like lighthearted and whatever over here. And I don't mean to start off your Monday with the, right? But it's a conversation I wanted to have, and I love y'all immensely for always letting me have whatever conversation I want and need to have, because you got to have some way to just get everything out of your mind, or out of your heart, out of your brain, and out. Some people say keep a journal. Some people will talk to a specific person. Some people will go to therapists. Y'all are my therapy. Like, and I appreciate you more than you know. I think you know, but I appreciate you guys immensely, and I love you all immensely as well. So now it's time for me to cook breakfast. And the reason I know this is because my stomach is going, you know, that sound your stomach makes when it's like, ma'am, ma'am, if you don't feed me, I might vomit, which has also never made sense to me. Where you get so hungry that you feel like you're going to throw up, but it's like, but I'm empty over here. What's coming up? Anyway, so that's where I'm at. I'm starving. I love y'all. I apologize for no mimosa Monday tonight, but I wanted to catch up with some friends we haven't hung out with in quite a while. So we're going to do that instead. And I'll let you know how the deodorizing goes, because I don't smell right now. I'm perfectly showered, but I'm about to put that stuff on and check it in a couple hours. Maybe I'll give you guys a little update on Instagram and the stories. I'll be like, hey, 6 hours in, and, you know, thumbs up or thumbs down. Because like I said, right now it's perfectly fine, but about to find out. I love you guys, and I will see you when I see you. I can't make promises on when, so I'll see you when I see you. Bye.